All right, first thing first, English League midfielders. Long story short, skip this one. Honestly, skip it. Unless you play with a winger often. All right? If you play with a winger often, he's a Roman flank, which he cuts in, unlike a prolific winger. His boost is good, make him even faster. Now remember, he is right-footed, plays on the right only. So it's not Salah or Messi cutting in and finishing. Skill-wise, doesn't have outside curler, doesn't have through passing, doesn't have pinpoint crossing, considering he plays at the winger only. Pinpoint crossing is a must. So because I don't recommend them, I don't want to dive deep into the details about them in a way. But again, like if you only play with the winger and you're a fan, I suppose. I mean, I did about 20 packs. I didn't get them. Would be interesting because even if you play the meta system 4-2-1-3, it's always good to have a wide wing. Bring him in the bench when you need to play wide. Beyond that, I think his speed, acceleration, balance without a lot of points reaches 90 easily. And because he's a winger, you got to give him more passing. His finishing is no bad at base level. So it give me that guy where you can just fly on the flanks. But then if you cut in on his weak foot is not that great. Weak foot accuracy rarely, but it's high. I mean, he's going to be a better winger than Beckham in terms of speed. That's the problem with Beckham, man. Body type, dribbling, everything. It's just, you can't even use him as a CMF. But I think that's pretty much about him, really. And because I don't recommend him, I don't want to dive in too much deep into it. In terms of Lampard, this has to be the worst epic card. Maybe there were some bad ones too, but you're talking about the box-to-box who's not very defensive, not physically very strong, not tall, not fast. Like, what is this? And his boost is passing? At least he could have been like, I don't know, orchestrator maybe, or a whole player. So I think unless you're like a Lampard is your all-time favorite real-life player, even I still wouldn't go for him. If they butcher my Totti or Beckham or R9 like this, I wouldn't go for it for one reason, because it would kill me to use my favorite player when it's done so bad. I mean, I get it. This is age 34 Lampard. I'm not expecting 90 speed. And Lampard was kind of a straightforward player. I mean, plays in English league. But I don't think physically was that weak, honestly. So this is a pass for me. This pack is definitely a pass. I like Lundberg. I would go for him. I did 20 packs, didn't get him. In terms of him, his technique is good. We'll give him ball control, dribble, and type position. I think for people who likes to play position game, creative playmakers would be very, very useful. And he can play CMF, AMF, SS, and left wing. And he's right-footed. In terms of skill, he has almost every passing skill. Through passing, one-touch pass. I think you probably need to give him, depending where you use him. If you use him SS, definitely need first-time shot. Probably acrobatic finishing. If you want to do double touch, special double touch, you may want to give him flip flap, and yeah, just flip flap can do double touch, special double touch. Or, I mean, old school guys, we know it as Neymar Borrow, because Neymar used to be the only player who could do that. And it goes to level 31. But in my opinion, like, you got a technical player who's a creative playmaker, not a whole player. And you got a fast player who only plays on the flank, doesn't even play SS. For me, it's a skip. What do you guys think? And YouTube. But when it comes to some of the featured players in this pack, are pretty solid. Nkunku, this Liverpool guy, what's his name? Jones? Even him. A lot of, like, the best whole players are in this pack in a way, who are not permanent B epics. I recently made a 3-4 star team. These guys were included, especially him. They're freaking rapid, bro. Seriously. And nice hair too. But they lack a lot of things for the meta. Like, usually epics, they have high offense awareness, high finishing. These players, even some GP players, has good speed, dribbling, all that jazz. But if this guy had high offense awareness and finishing, it would be as good as epics, for example. Some epics. For me, he's too short to be defensive. Otherwise, could be a very, very defensive DMF. He's box to box. He's too short, man. T-Rex legs. Can remind me of Makalele. Who else? There was another player. Oh, Olise. But then you have to think, if you're opening this pack for these highlight cards, you need to compare this card to the standard GP one. And if you think the difference is worth spending the money, by all means. It's always good to compare it. So I have no Frenchie. Nkunku's always good, man. I mean, we had a free Nkunku card, was ridiculously good, right? All right, next one, FC Bayern Munich.